Hello, welcome to today's video. We are now on page 135 of the Keyboard Musicianship Book 1. On this page we have two new pieces of music to be transposed. Number 5 is harmony with fifths and singletones. Looking at the key signature, you can see that we are in G major. And this is still in 6/8 time, triple feel. It begins on beat number 6. So remember, the quarter note has 2 beats in it, and the 8th note is the one single beat by itself. So think about it that way, please. Left hand will be in G position. Right hand moves from scale degree 5 to 1 with fingers 1 and 3. So let's keep that in mind when we have to move about. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me. Very nice. Now that we have played that in G major, the left hand will now move down to F position. Good to know the pentascale. The right hand, though, did 1, 3, 1, 5. Scale degrees, fingers 1 and 3. But now we're going to do 5, 1 scale degrees in F, which is going to be C to F. We'll have to move about. You may want to play this one hand at a time when transposing down to F major. Here's an example of what that one sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's an F major. Be very clear and careful about when playing. Of course, use the same fingerings as in the G major one. Now moving on to number 6. This one here is called harmony with chord roots. Okay, so as you can see from the key signature, it looks like we are in C major. And we are also in 6/8 time. This one here has some 16th notes, so let's be prepared for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look to hear what this one sounds like. Here we go. Here we go. Placing our hand in left hand, it's going to be F position, finger number 1 there on C. And then with the right hand, we will be moving about, but we're starting in a sort of F position here with finger number 2 there on G. Here we go. Let's go ahead and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad, nice little tune. It's an old song, harmony with chord roots. And so what we're going to be doing here, this one here, I would highly encourage you to practice one hand at a time. Notice that in the left hand, when moving up to D position, or D major, we're simply going to move from F to G. And reviewing the key, the scale degrees, we have 1, which is the scale degree, which is D, and then 4, which is 5, finger number 4, 4, 5, and then 1 again, once more. This one here, finger number 5 on F, is actually the 4th scale degree, subdominant, twice, back up to A, twice again, and then to dominant. So review those those root notes from the chords according to the scale degree. As for the right hand, we started on finger number 2 there on G. I don't really like that. I did play it when I was playing it here for the sake of the video, but because we're playing 2 notes that are repeated legato, I'm going to go ahead and use 2 different fingers to do that. I'm going to do 2, 1. It makes the repeated legato a little bit easier. But because we are 5th scale degree for C major, we're now moving up to A, because that's the 5th scale degree. Alrighty, and so when reviewing the right hand part, think about the scale degrees, think about the notes being pushed up a second above. Remember, in D major, you have F sharp and C sharp, part of that key. So whenever you approach those scale degrees, make sure that you're playing the black keys. Here's a little bit of a review of the right hand part. Be very careful with that because you can be confused with it being in C major. But remember, we are moving up this time. Let's go ahead and put both hands together. Finger number 1 will now be moved to D. Finger number 5 is the subdominant, and finger number 4 is dominant. Remember that, please. Write in the fingerings if you need to, as a reminder. Here we go, both hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, pretty simple. When playing this with both hands, of course, remember, hands separately, think about the notes being pushed up a second, and of course, scale degrees, and you should be just fine. All right, so keep practicing, and we will see you at next lesson.